Hi everyone. I'd like to speak about what Jesus means to me. So before I knew anything about church, who Jesus was, what a follower of Jesus was, I struggled with my identity. I put this down to a lack of father figure as I was growing up, also being let down badly by some that were close to me when I was young. Looking back, I can see that I had great potential to be anything I wanted to be, but without guidance, any support and lack of direction, I really lacked confidence big time and struggled finding my way. My dream was to get lost in my music, to sing and to dance. For a career, I longed to be a nurse and to spend my time helping others to get well. My reality was that Mum needed help paying the bills, so I left school at 16 and trained as a hairdresser and went on a day release to college, which was great at the time. I found hairdressing in a modern, young, trendy salon where I could dress in the latest fashion, put lots of makeup on and pretend to be a carefree, got life all sorted kind of young person. A good way to cover up what I was really feeling inside. As a young adult, I drank a lot, I smoked a lot, and generally tried to fit in with those around me, but always felt like a square peg in a round hole. I had low self-esteem. I had frequent panic attacks, usually relating to confrontational situations. And this made me unsure of myself, especially while speaking with groups of people. Through all of this, I also carried with me a sense of unfulfillment, a longing to be loved, to belong. I always felt there was something missing in my life, and although this sounds a bit cliche, I had a great big hole in my heart that just needed filling. My road to faith was long and complicated, and for a good 17 years, I was seeking my faith with a little bit of rebellion in the middle. I set out in search of healing and restoration to try and find a God that I thought I believed in, but had no clue where to look or whether, in fact, I'd be accepted, warts and all, the way I was. But what I discovered and received was so much more. Through healing and restoration, I was able to forgive and move away from big hurts and obstacles that had held me down for many years. I felt released, unburdened from sadness and trauma, and in its place received warmth and light and love and forgiveness. I hadn't realised the extent of the things that weighed heavy on my heart. In the middle of it all were things I had done, forgotten things that I had pushed away and pushed way, way back as I felt guilt and shame when remembering them. But by receiving a forgiveness that I hadn't expected, I was able to deal with all of the hidden traumas that were buried deep and were weighing me down heavy. So what Jesus meant for me at the time was freedom. I gained a freedom and a confidence to be the person God had always intended me to be. Without guilt, without doubt, I was unburdened, I was light and free and loved. I was no longer a product of my insecurities. And what was more, I gained a purpose for my life that didn't put me as the focus. There's a book by Henri Nouwen, Following Jesus, Finding Our Way Home in the Age of Anxiety. In it, he explains that right here, right where we are, right here in this body, with this face, with these hands, with this heart, we are the place where Jesus can dwell. This is confirmed in John 15, verse 4-8, where Jesus teaches about the vine and the branches. And Jesus says, I have made my home in you so that you can make your home in me. So what does Jesus want to do in us and through us? Well, he wants to do all of the above. He wants to give us identity in him. He wants to heal, he wants to forgive, and he wants to show us a purpose for our lives. And weaving through all of this is an unconditional love. It is God's love that allows us to love one another. Jesus said, love one another because I have loved you first. Nouwen speaks of this original love And he writes in this book from the perspective of God speaking directly to us. Let me read you this. The first love says, I loved you before you could love anyone, or before you could receive love from anyone. I have accepted you. You are accepted. You are loved no matter what father, what mother, brother, sister, school, church, society does. You were born out of my love. I have breathed you out of my love. I have spoken you out of my love. You are the incarnation of my love, and in me there is no hatred, there is no revenge, there is no resentment. There is nothing that wants to reject you. I love you. Can you trust that love? As soon as we touch that place of first love, we begin to slowly become free from the chain of needs and wounds that hold us imprisoned. This allows us to love others. The spiritual life is really a life that wants to make us free, free to love. So what does Jesus mean to me? Well, all of the above with a big dollop of icing on the top. Love. Hashtag clean hands, open hearts.